girls under 14 game that and it was actually a friend of mine who played that.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Magnus Carlsen with a slicker do hair.
Yes, arriving at the board 25 seconds before the game is bound to start, so he's on time. He's got the black pieces. And what predictions do we have for Prague's first move? Is he going to go for c4 like he did in their first game? I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise.
It wouldn't be a surprise, yeah. But any move here, I think it would be also equal. Potential, maybe e4. I have a feeling that it's gonna be just e4.
Okay, let's see. Oh, you are right. Look at that. It's like as if you talked to him. Did you find him on the walk and ask him what he was going to play?
No.
All right, so now Magnus starts adjusting his pieces as his clock is running. So, okay, I guess we expect e5.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, e4, e5 is very popular in this tournament. Both in the open and women's, yeah? Just very, very popular.
Okay. So, knight c6.
Are we going to see some Lopez, some Berlin
probably.
stuff?
Italian. Yeah, Italian. The bishop didn't go out that far. And d3 on the board. Bishop c5.
Yeah, so in a4. Yeah.
Well, I guess you could even let the pawn advance a bit, but
yeah,
he
just
plays
d6.
d6. Yeah.
So he's trying to be a bit flexible about the a pawn. It can be pushed to a6 or a5.
Yeah, by the way, we have a much more unusual position on the board between Abbasov and Caruana, but we can take a look at that later, yeah. The opening seems interesting. So we have castles on the board, so at this point, will Magnus be castling or playing maybe a move like h6? Do we want to spend a tempo on that to avoid the pin?
I don't think so. Maybe Magnus will start pushing the a pawn now. I don't know what he's gonna do. a6 would be my guess, but yeah, h6 or castle, it's also quite a possibility.
But there's rook f8, and then you try to get this pawn back if you can. Although in this position with h6 it doesn't work, right?
Yeah, because h6.
Yeah.
Or you could have taken on e4 immediately.
It's not that I'm going to win your pawn, but it's more like if you protect it, right, in some way, that this happens and then you get triple pawns. It's very ugly. So that might be the problem, actually.
And Magnus took on e3?
Yeah, that's why he took, He took and castled. So far, Prague is playing faster than him. He's got over 25 minutes. And Magnus, he's taken his time a little bit.
97.
So, yeah, that's a very, very typical move. And black is still pretty safe.
And he did it, yes. That h4 is on the board. Yeah.
Knight h4, and he did play c6, okay. But I would probably be tempted by this very simple move.
He played queen e1, so he allows this.
Okay, so he goes queen immediately, right? So let's say I take...
Oh, even I can take now.
If I take, you can take with the knight, though.
Yeah.
You can take with the knight, because in this line, I think,
it's a bit dubious.
Black is solid with that development, but this is... Well, the funny thing is I can still go here, right? Because, I mean, it's not like I'm that scared now. My pawns are all going to be together. So black is pretty solid. Okay, did Magnus just make a move? He
d5,
did. He went for d5. Okay, good intuition on that one. So he went
queen
d5.
d6.
The bishop went... Oh, no, it's symmetric structure. Why should it be bad for black? So his move d5 is... Let's try this move. h6. How about that? Because... What did he just do? Oh, he put his knight on h5. Okay. f6.
No, you have to take first because the queen is hanging.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Magnus made a move. No, I think Prague made a move.
Queen g4.
Queen g5 is on the board.
Queen g5.
Yeah, and now we're going to see how Magnus wants to defend this knight, whether it's just going back. And that makes sense, right? It makes sense because he got the queen off that square on g3, and he also is, like, stopping that. And then maybe he wants to just go h6.
Yeah, it does make sense. But he went for g6.
No, he went for the rook and having a great position, so, okay.
Oh, and Prague also went for this.
Let's try e4 first. Okay, we're seeing some changes on the board. Magnus playing bishop takes. Yeah, he kept things. About to reach for the king.
Yes.
Look at him, like playing all the accurate moves. Yeah. Yeah, you're attacking the fold by him.
Yeah. So let's also see what Praggnanandhaa can be doing here. He's just basically passing the turn, king h1.
King h1, okay. Well, that's not a move that's going to worry for him to play, and I think it'll be a little bit unpleasant for Prague.
Yeah, and I think Magnus
Just played it.
Yeah.
Okay. Match, but it's funny because there's an absolutely fascinating position on the board between Abbasov and Caruana, but I feel like we might get killed if we switch to that game, so we're not going to do that. But B, if we didn't want to change anything, we have that move, and that is also perfectly pleasant against these guys. Also, he even managed to get a little bit of space by capturing with the H pawn to the G file. His king is actually a little bit more active.
This is almost like a close position, and the bishop is not doing anything over there.
I think we have e4 on.
Yeah, Praggnanandhaa has to force some matters, because otherwise the bishop cannot be closed up permanently like that.
And Magnus took on e4, so he actually made that decision really fast. He had other moves, but I guess he was just tempted by the idea of this pawn being weak.
And then some.
Yeah. So, White is kind of holding on in these positions.
But he played rook a8.
He played rook a8. Okay.
Just human.
But it's an idea.
It's an
right?
idea.
It's an idea. You can sort of try to get that fork. All right. Well, we got some moves on the board.
Oh, he did rook f2.
He did rook f2. Okay.
3. I can always play my knight to f6 and h5 and have this f4 and g3 idea.
Yeah, that's your idea. Okay,
So,
but the problem is, so if I go here, if I go knight, rook e, so which move do you want to play? Like rook somewhere? But the thing is, it's hard to double. It's kind of hard to double, right? Maybe rook d4?
Rook d4, yeah, that's it.
Rook d4, I have knight f3.
So maybe rook d6.
You go, okay, we're seeing some action, and Magnus has chosen a move. So he has gone for, but we can admire Fabi's accomplishment later. Yeah. So he brought his knight back to g8 to guard the knight on f6. How does Black prepare for this move, which is going to hit 2 pawns? He chose something. Magnus has handled this.
Yeah, but maybe also. He didn't play knight c4.
All right,
What did
knight
he do?
c4 was not played. Okay.
Bishop c2.
Bishop c2. Well, that gives us a chance to at least play b5, right? And I think Magnus should probably take his chance to play that pawn move, but he's reaching for something else. Knight d7. Okay. Makes sense, actually, as well. And now on knight c4, how's he handling the attack on the pawn? b6 looks weird. So it actually might be, it might be rook 8 and then b5. Because I think you have to play these moves at some point. Like, you can't just let the knight stay on c4 forever. So, like, if this move happens, okay, I think you finally put the knight there.
Yeah, and rook a8.
Rook a8, yeah. You just, now this makes sense. Okay, he wants to play b5 to challenge that. Yeah, it's a little passive. Like, overall, like, playing like this is just passive with this knight, yeah. So...
Pragg did something.
h3, right? But then he kind of... Okay, Magnus did something different.
f6.
Oh, wow. He really played f6, huh?
Oh, I think I know. You just want to reroute your knight to g6 and f4. So knight f8, knight g6, and knight f4.
What is this knight going to do? I was hoping that he would finally do something for that knight. Like, this knight was not...
Knight e3, knight f5.
Yeah, weakening those squares, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, so... he played... What did he play?
He did play knight h6.
Knight h6.
Yeah.
Also rook e6.
Right, you also have this way of guarding. So everything still seems okay for him.
So,
Yep,
Magnus took,
this is happening.
and then knight
Rook takes
f7.
g5 on the board, and knight f7. Okay. So, there's still tension in this game. Nothing has been decided. I mean, but basically, it seems equal. That's the point, right? Like, now, both sides, basically, it's been good for Prague that the g pawn got traded for the f pawn. White's rooks have always been quite good. So,
But also the position is not easy, so that's why.
it's a tricky position for both sides. Absolutely.
So he
Rook
put rook
d2.
d2.
Okay. So he gets off the g pawn and starts to target the knight. Very logical.
Rook
Rook
f6.
f6. And Magnus, it's amazing how fast he is, right? Magnus having 3 minutes against less than 1 minute. I mean, okay. Magnus can also win, but right now he's not winning on the board. But actually, maybe Magnus winning is not a bad prediction either, just because of the time situation.
Yeah, so, well, the position is still equal, but
Yeah.
yeah, judging from the time situation, Magnus is in a very good favor.
Yeah, he seems to have like transitioned to this blitz mode pretty easily, but right now his position is balanced.
It's the piece.
Should we just
the
try
best piece.
b5? I mean, I'm thinking b5. Okay, Carlsen went here, but b5 maybe this was a problem. Then
Yeah,
you
and
get
then
to-
a5.
Yeah, and then you get to have a pass pawn. Okay, Carlsen went knight king f8. Very kind of interesting move, trying to bring the king to protect these important squares on the d file. Yeah, that's a nice looking move. What's Prague gonna do here?
Yeah, very solid and principled as well. You just want to bring your king in the endgame.
It's quite smart. Yes. Okay, so maybe Prague will go knight b6, and then Magnus maybe is gonna go for the trade, but
King g2.
King g2. Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like, you know, when I see moves like king f8, king e7, I'm starting to see Magnus's concept here and like how things could be a little bit unpleasant. But a5 is a good move.
a5 is a good move.
Yeah.
And I mean, so far, White has a better position on the queen side, so maybe, yeah, Prague is just using that fact. So rook h1, trying to tie down the king to its
the
position.
king here is excellent, right? Like these squares are guarded. Black has hopes of finally using these knights. Finally, one day, right?
Yeah.
That can actually move. I mean, okay, we can see that this is unpleasant. Prague is under 20 seconds.
Yeah. Prague has to play faster now.
I think Magnus has just transitioned way better to like the fact that this is going down to blitz. You know, because you see how he just speeded up, right? And he continues to play fast, and he's just kind of, you know, seizing the initiative here, right? Like right now, exactly. The knight came in. Now there's a fork threatened, and king
has to
g1.
move again. Yes. Yeah. Well, I think it's because Black has a clear idea on what we see it now. It's gonna be very, very like in a blitz mode. Like
Okay, Prague's rook is under attack. He has to move it away. He moved to d2, rook h3. Like, look how fast Magnus is playing his moves. He just doesn't even want to give him a chance to breathe, actually. That's what I mean. Like, he could take a bit of time on these moves. I guess this one is fairly obvious. He wants to kind of use the third rank, maybe have ideas of rook c3. a6, what is that? Why is he doing that? Why did he just do that?
Did he just give up the pawn?
He did. He just gave up a pawn, and I'm not sure why. I have no idea why that move just happened. Okay, because he wants to get this pawn. But the thing is, like, first of all,
there's rook c3.
There's rook c3. That's one idea. And also in this position, there's also ideas of even the knight kind of coming in with all those fork threats. So I don't know.
This is too loose. I mean, like, it's not a position when you're sacrificing a pawn, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Magnus went for knight g5 was stronger, but Magnus went for this. Knight a5, and now knight g5. Yep, played instantly. Now the knights are coming in. Look at those beautiful knights.
Wow.
Look at that attack coming in.
Right, and the king is in the metal net. Yeah.
He was merciless in this part. Did you feel that?
Yeah,
I mean, did you feel like how he just went on the attack and he started playing so confidently. He knew he had to use Prague's clock against him. All right. So now, what do we do? Black is still up a pawn. I mean, I don't know. This is obviously still a nice advantage for him, but maybe it's not the most. I mean, it's incisive. He might want to take a little bit of time here.
Yeah, I think he would like
this
to,
is still
to
a
keep the
very
rook on the
good
board.
move, right? Like this is still. I mean, chances to win, I guess, are pretty good here. I mean, he's just up a pawn. You'd think that he has like excellent chances to win this position. Yeah, but he went for something more incisive.
Yeah, I think he would like to keep the rook on the board.
Yeah, he went for knight g to h3. Is he going on the attack? So we probably have to go here.
King f1, rook f3.
Yeah, are there checkmate threats like on the back rank? There kind of are, aren't there?
Yeah.
There's like rook a3, rook a3, and there's a checkmate threat with rook a4, and also this is incredibly a back rank checkmate.
Yeah, it is.
It is because the king is completely limited by the knights. Oh man!
Wow, and Prague just doesn't have time to think about everything.
Yeah, that's checkmate on the back. So, oh, that's a check. No, hold on, he took with a knight.
It's a check. King f6,
king f6,
and
wow.
that's it. Wow, so Magnus won the first game, and in a completely equal position. And
but that was so good.
That was
so good.
very
You have to
instructive.
appreciate. You know, when you see this live, it's such a different experience from just watching, downloading the game afterwards and seeing the moves, right? Because you see, like it feels like it was easy, but it wasn't that easy. There were so many masterful things that he had to do to win this endgame.
bye.